Hey guys, it's Eric Green, Tax Rep Network. Got my little ignition hat. Actually, I'll put this up. You can see me a little better. Um, how many years of back tax returns do you need to file? I get this all the time. So first and foremost, let's talk about what tax compliance is. In order to do anything with the IRS, you need to be in tax compliance. So on the surface, tax compliance means you filed all the returns that are due and owing as of this moment. You have made your current periods tax payments. So if you're a W-2 employee, you've had enough withholding done so you won't owe money at the end of the year. You're self-employed, you've made your current year's estimated tax payments. If you're a business, you made the last 2 quarters payroll tax deposits. If you're there, you're in compliance. So there's a caveat though to the number of returns you need to file. For the IRS, they define compliance as the last 6 years. So given that I am filming this in late, it's November of 2024, 18 through 23, if those returns are on file or the government did substitute for returns, you're in compliance. Could you do more years if you want to? By all means. Now, why would you want to? Well, let's say a client came to you and said, I had these huge losses in 14 and 15, and we could have carried those NOLs forward. By all means, you can go back and file more returns if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay? Now, once we get that done, what about the states? Good question. The states are all over the place. Where I live in the lovely state of Connecticut here, beautiful fall day, unusually warm for November, um, we don't have a 6 year rule. The Connecticut Department of Revenue is going to want every year back to the beginning of time. Now, how do we get around that? Connecticut happens to have in fact, all the states have a voluntary disclosure program where a taxpayer can come forward, they agree to file the returns. Generally, you have to full pay the tax, and then every state has a different program. So here in Connecticut, we could do voluntary compliance, file the last three past due years, so 21 to 23, that's it. But we have to full pay the tax and we have to full pay the interest. They waive the penalty. When I say full pay, there is no installment agreement, there is no offer in compromise. You have to cut a check and pay it. So, I believe California is also is 6 years. New Jersey is 4. New York is 3 to 6 years. Massachusetts is 7. All the states are different. So you have to look at the particular taxpayer state and see what their voluntary disclosure program requires. The other thing about voluntary disclosure, you have to apply to voluntary disclosure. You can't just file the returns. So for Connecticut, we would actually send an application. It's an email. Here's the taxpayer. Here's what we'd like to do. Come in, file the last 3 years, pay. And they always want an estimate of what we think they owe. We rough that out. They will send a letter back, usually within a day or two. You're cleared to come in. Why would you not be cleared to come in? If you're already under audit or investigation, you're not eligible. But they confirm they're not already under audit or investigation. You're cleared to come in, and we could do it that way. So that's how we can limit it with the states. But the big question, how many years do you have to file? You have to have the last 6 years on file for the IRS, and you have to check your state's rules in terms of the state. All right? I hope that helps.